So, my brother video derailed us pretty badly. But it's okay, because we're back on that Halloween train. And we are going to keep this up for the rest of the month. I promise. Unless there's further notice given. So, for Halloween, I don't know what you guys do, but mostly I just hand out candy. But sometimes I like to, my parents and I set up this graveyard in our front yard every year. It's very elaborate, very cool. My brother also helps out with this. He built our fence, and he usually does a lot for us on that. And we have a bunch of dummies, right? And some people think that they're real, especially on Halloween, because people are like, oh, I bet that thing's actually a real person. But they're usually wrong. But sometimes we do. Either my mother or I, we pretend to be one of the dummies. We put on a mask, and we wait for a person to come up to the house, and then we jump out at them, and it scares them. And I want to tell you about one incident that happened I think it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. Okay, so, I was pretending to be a dummy, and there was a group of older kids, that came by. So, I scared them, right? Well, I scared one girl so bad that she went running and she tripped down her stairway. And that was pretty horrific. Luckily, there was no injuries, and that wasn't much of a story, actually. Anyway, the point is, if you're gonna jump out and scare somebody, expect at least one person to injure themselves, if not more. Also, expect there to be a mess made because they dropped all their candy. But yeah, other than scaring people on Halloween, usually I watch a bunch of movies. My favorite movies to watch are the Halloween series by John Carpenter, directed by John Carpenter. They're really good. I think it might have been my mom's first Halloween movie. First scary movie that she ever saw, I mean. And, they're really good, I promise. You should watch them if you haven't, unless you're squeamish and jump easily. If you are, stick to the Halloween Town movies. That's probably a good shot for you. Also, the Freddy Krueger movies are okay. I think that they're dumb, personally. Oh, we're gonna get a lot of hate for this now, aren't we? I prefer the Friday the 13th ones, but like the early Friday the 13th ones, not the newer ones. Those are bad. What other good horror movies are there? I want to say Pumpkinhead, but I just think that that's a funny movie. So, if you're looking for good horror movies to watch, start with Halloween, and then watch the Friday the 13th. Basically. There's some other good ones, like The Fog, the new one, the older one's kind of dumb. I mean, it's still good, but it's not as good. Basically any of the horror movies directed by John Carpenter, the older ones, not The Ward. Don't see The Ward. Okay? This has been #GirlTalk. I just taught you about some good horror movies, so go watch them.